When I designed the Pacemaker 807, I really wanted, this is an 8 foot, 7 power rod, all one piece. What I would classify as an extra heavy, but it's fairly parabolic. It's got an extended bend to it, and I think that's really important, especially for the purposes I designed this bait for. There's really two main purposes that I want this rod to do, and that is to flip, really thick vegetation, either say deep hydrilla out on a lake like Toledo Bend, or water hyacinth mats, say down the Louisiana Delta, or even out west on the California Delta, or at Lake Okeechobee flipping reed heads. A rod that I can use with an ounce and a quarter, ounce and a half, either weight, and/or say a jig. And you need that good parabolic bend and that big long action in the rod with braided line. It really helps me when I set the hook on those fish in that cover, to not pull the fish away from the cover too fast. It allows me to hook the fish and still maintain control of the fish. I don't have to worry about flipping the fish. All of us have done that before, I think, flipping mats. You set the hook and you actually move the fish more than you thought you would. Maybe the fish was up high in the water column and the fish flips tail overhead and comes off before you can gain the slack. The long action of this rod will prevent that from happening, yet the rod's plenty stiff enough to still allow you to make easy presentations with those heavier baits. The other purpose of this rod, and the long action is very important with it as well, to me, is throwing your big swim baits. And I'm talking about your big swim baits, like your 7 and 8 and 9 inch line through swim baits. Typically all those baits either have one single big hook on top and a series of treble hooks on the bottom, or a line through with a big treble hook on the bottom. And for me, it's important to have a rod that isn't as soft as, say, what you would crank with to use with a swim bait with treble hooks on it, because it would be practically impossible to throw a bait that size. But you need a rod that will load down the blank, and that's what the Pacemaker 807 does. I spent as much time on this rod as any rod in the family trying to get it exactly the way that I wanted it. And it truly, to me, it will greatly reduce the amount of fish that you lose when punching and dropping deep grass. I know that's something that many people have struggled with. And it's also a perfect fit for you guys that are looking for, a rod to throw those bigger swim baits on. It's kind of a multi-function rod.